so complex, who can understand people? Alright. And everyday people expressing different interpretations. Let us analyze just a little more. Our inner thoughts more deeply explore. Personal feelings away, be more objective, I say. Even if it's hard, we still have to try. We have to recognize the conditions that brought us so, then determine which way we want to go. Because the same stick that beat the black dog is the same that will strike the wine. So for Grenada's sake, we have no choice but to unite. That's right. And let those who dwell among us without sins cast the first stone. Show me a man who has not done wrong. Each one wants to blame his adversary and hide his own faults. But tell me, how long can this game go on? Where is the love, my people? Where is our unity? We have to build.
I want to say a pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Another wonderful, wonderful day in Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique. Today being Wednesday, the 8th day of January 2025. To the many of you guys who are joining us here, a blessed good evening to each and every one of you.
But our united strength is our greatest reward.
As Grenada gets ready to celebrate its 51st year of independence, we here in the classroom want to say, every person near or far, once you're Grenadian, once it's embedded in you,
the errors we made as we strove,
happy independence to you.
Not forget people. Alright.
To the persons on my Facebook and YouTube page, I want to say welcome, welcome, and thank you for being here for another wonderful evening.
Sometimes we acted so insensibly.
Realize that the persons on my YouTube page, they already up and ready. Ruth Chetram, good evening to you.
Politicians,
Deborah Laborde,
native sons,
Faitlin Douglas,
wolves and sheep.
Miss Agnes Henry, good evening. Clive, good evening, my brother. Deborah Flanders, Kristen Otley, Miss Marilyn Ferguson, good evening to you. Bernadette Joseph, Janice Mitchell, good evening, good evening.
But if the right hand gets a cancer,
tag somebody, share the live right now,
so we must get
and let them know
that
that class is in session.
And let those who dwell among us without sins cast the first stone. Show me a man who has not done wrong. Like crabs in a barrel, we only pulling each other down. But tell me, how long can this thing go on? We have to rise from the gloomy depths of hypocrisy. Let us reconcile differences and try unity. For children's sake, for the love of our country.
Definitely can take that phone call right now.
Government stop exporting talents to foreign nations.
So blessed evening each and every one of you.
Feel that we can return home to give.
As we get ready
Cause the task of
for our conversation.
nations
So go ahead and share the live.
is not the
Tag somebody. Call somebody.
but it depends on all.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this one coming down there from our very own Flying Cloud. This one's called Grenada Belongs to We. And definitely is one of our hit tunes here when it comes around the independence time here in Grenada. we're celebrating our 51st, and so we hoping that every Grenadian near or far can show some form of patriotism in recognizing our independence. Yes? So ladies and gentlemen, I want to jump into my information file very early before I start all the program and conversation. Yes? And I just want to remind you guys, don't forget to check out the Goose Fitness along with Central Police Station. They present Follow Me, Pain is Weakness, Leaving the Body. Yes, it is $65 per month or $20 per class. It is being held on Monday and Wednesdays from the 6th. It started on the 6th, and so it starts at 4:30 and ends at 6:30 p.m. That is on the Tantin Netball Court. You can contact Eric Jones on 410-3711. Yes, and on Easter Saturday, that's April 19, you can check out Barry's Bar. That's in Willis. Out there would be a wonderful bingo. As time goes by, we'll be giving you more and more information. But put that in your calendar date. The massive bingo that will be happening there in Willis. Yes, the jackpot and other information will be coming. Lots and lots of giveaways. So don't forget to be a part of this one. All right. So let's jump into our information very early. Flying Turkey, yes, thank you very much. I think I said Flying Cloud. Thank you so very much, Janice Mitchell. And I'm actually looking at the name and getting it wrong. Flying Turkey, and that wasn't Flying Cloud. My apologies. Yes, that was Flying Turkey. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start this evening conversation very early. Now, I don't know how many of you guys would have seen this clipping. And I want to bring some light to it because it is one, not just humorous, but it shows, ladies and gentlemen, how, or the state of how many of these persons who were elected were not prepared to even govern or rule. Yes? Let me just play this clip right here. I think I got the wrong clip. Sorry, my apologies. All right, that's it right there. That's what I want to get my hands on right here. Right here.
So this is the Brothers Bridge. For decades, this has been the main access route leading to the communities of Florida, Cloche, and even onto Grenville in St. Andrew. Over the years, the bridge has deteriorated, forcing its closure, especially to the motoring public. Now, GBN took his cameras on request from community members that the road condition on the alternative route is also deteriorating. We spoke to a couple of the residents who are seriously impacted. They are irate that this project that you see here has started almost 3 years ago and is still not completed.
Rainfall, you know what we got the few time, right? The children have to be soaking wet and go and sit down in the classroom. I mean, what going on in case of an emergency, ambulance, police, we don't know, sometimes a fire or something. Look, yesterday he had a little accident over there. No place for vehicle to pass. The Florida road not that good. We're really suffering here. I mean, it's like this place is not on the map. St. John's is not on the map. I don't know what's going on.
What I find, they should speed up on the bridge and let me get this thing for the children because they care about the children. So let's see that you care for the children. Those who come and read and even talk about care about the children, October matching about the children, and they are different. So,
ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, this is a clipping as it relates to, as you heard, in the St. John's, Florida area. Yes? And the road condition, for those of you who have actually seen the video, you would see how deplorable and the conditions that it is presently in. Now, I saw the clipping and I was like, okay, you know what? I hope it gets fixed fast. But during the day, while going through Facebook, the parliamentary representative for St. John's decided to upset me. Because I am one person that can see dotishness and don't talk. That is me. When I see dotishness, I don't have to talk because I don't like dotishness. Now, I believe one of the fundamental principles of putting yourself up for a public office, especially when it comes to governance, is to ensure that when I am putting myself forward and I am looking to be elected, behind my mind, or one of the most important things there and then, should obviously be to do the things in which maybe the past administration did not do, and in these circumstances, a political administration that preached on government is continuum, that if I were to put myself up for that position and was elected immediately after being elected, some of the things that I must pay attention to, it would be projects to be done, projects that was being done, and projects to be done. Yes? So persons may say, okay, well, we wanted that. This is one of the things that was in the pipeline already. Then there is the other one where there's actual things happening there. And then there is the other where, you know what, this is what we may want to have. But when I read what Honorable Kieran James put out this morning, I was baffled. And what baffles me most is that you spoke even acknowledging the fact that even the person that spoke, they mentioned one of the issues there and there is the children that are going to school. Would you believe that even the minister acknowledged that that is her alumni? So not only you being a representative, it also goes further to say it is a school you attended. Yeah. Or even if you don't attend the school, you know it is a school in St. George's, or in St. John, sorry, in which you know that, you know, most persons get there. So let me just read. Let me just read, ladies and gentlemen. Because I tell you, it fret me so much that at one point I just... Anyways. It says, dear constituents, today I took the opportunity to visit the much anticipated bridge project, which has been under construction for well over 3 years. You understand what is going on there already? You understand what you understand what the intention there is already? Well over 3 years. Understand, I keep telling you guys, when you all listen and you all read, understand what you're reading and what is being said. Well over 3 years, right? Predating my tenure as a member of parliament. So here, the first thing that you intend to do in addressing the persons on the issue is to take yourself out, one, and two, to immediately put the blame on somebody else. You see that? The very first 2 lines. You don't have to be an intelligent person to read that and simply not understand what is being said immediately. First of all, she knows her administration was not in office 3 years ago, so she said well over 3 years. Yeah, it went on to say predating my tenure as a member of parliament. Predating that time. Bear in mind, she was a sitting senator. This project has faced significant delays due to redesigning and other technical challenges relating to its support structure. Right? So, again, immediately, instead of addressing the issue, you start to make excuses. Project was faced with significant delays due to redesigning, so on and so forth. Now, we have had 2 budgets read within the state of Grenada since this administration took office. And I'm asking persons because I'm asking out of ignorance. Yes? whether or not you heard at any given time that this bridge, in any one of the budgets that have been read thus far, that you heard that this bridge, there were fundings allocated for this bridge. But let's go on. I've been receiving numerous concerns, particularly from students and staff and alumni of the St. John's Christian Secondary School, as the bridge directly impacts their accessibility, especially with the 60th anniversary celebration beginning this weekend. So you started bad and you continue to get worse because you have been getting phone calls about it, and it drags you to get yourself out of your popularity area, miscongeniality, right? Because it affects them more so because they're celebrating the anniversary this weekend. So, as I said, you start bad and you start to get worse. Steps taken today. So she highlighted after this paragraph, she said, I hear you and I'm taking immediate action. So here are the steps that was taken today, because this was dated this morning. Yes? I conducted a visit to meet with the contractor to assess the current status of the bridge. When you started by saying the project has been faced with significant delay due to redesigning. So you should have immediately on your visit find out, because you know the problem already. You are aware that the project has been delayed due to redesigning and other technical challenges. So you're meeting with the contractor for what? To tell you what you know already, because you started by saying the project has been faced with significant delay due to redesigning and other technical challenges. So we know you know that. We are aware, Madam Minister, that you know what the problem is. You said it in your paragraph. The project has been faced with significant delay due to redesigning and other technical challenges. So you're meeting with the contractor to tell you what you already know. So there is a step you take. So the contractor is coming to tell you the same thing, right, that you already know. Let's move on. I invited the CTO of the Ministry of Infrastructure and relevant stakeholders for a technical review. You already told us. Yes? You already told us that already. So the first two things that you're saying here is things you know. What are they reviewing? What are they reviewing? There is an electrical problem in a house, right? But you bring your husband in the house to tell him of an electrical problem? No, get an electrician. Because if you have to make steps to resolve or to get a solution, you have to get the things that will fix the problem. Not to bring people to tell them about the problem. The problem is still there. So you already know, you said that in your paragraph. Right? She went on to say, I formally requested temporary access to the bridge this weekend to facilitate the school's activity. Oh gosh, lad. So, ladies and gentlemen, pick sense out of nonsense. If you're asking or formally requesting a temporary access, it means, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a bridge that, based on knowledge, and we're bright enough, this is a bridge that could be at least 80% fixed. Because if you're now asking for access, it means it has either been accessible or probability exists that it could have been accessed. Yes? Because if you're asking for persons to use it this weekend, it means that it could have been used since you took office. Unlike you come in and speak about well over 3 years. So it means that at least 80% of this bridge, 75% to 80% of this bridge has been in completion. Because you're asking for persons to use it. If it was so deplorable and in a position whereby you have to call for technical team, you have to call for contractor, you have to call for relevant stakeholders. Anyway, she went on to say, your persistence and vigilance in raising the issue with me are greatly appreciated. So, ladies and gentlemen, the parliamentary representative was unaware that this issue was being a challenge. Because you say she's stating that the issue was raised with her. So I wonder when she went and dropped toys on Christmas Day. So that means children in Florida don't get toys. Closure. It means persons gone past that bridge, it don't seem like they get toys. Because she was playing Santa Claus on Christmas morning. Who remembered? Who remembered? You did a whole drive-through with your truck and you went and give toys. So they raised it, so you didn't know that was an issue? Actually, as your MP, I remain committed. Well, she start bad, she get worse, and she start to deteriorate. No, she start to rotten. It start to get bad. She went on to say, as your MP, I remain committed to being proactive. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, not everybody here understands. And this is the classroom. This is the classroom, ladies and gentlemen. Let me. I know everybody is not in the capacity that everybody's on the same level. So some of you have to teach in a way that everybody understands. Yeah. The meaning of the word proactive, taken from the dictionary, says of a person or action creating or controlling a situation rather than just responding to it after it has happened. That is what it means to be proactive. And the last part says, than just responding to it after it has happened. So how can you be proactive when in the very first line you said your persistence and vigilance in raising the issue with me? So if they raised the issue with you, how were you proactive? Oh my goodness. How can somebody raise an issue with you and you are being proactive? They told you. Proactive means that you must do it first. When they tell you and you do it, you're being reactive. Come on now. Because if I do something before I'm told, it's an initiative that is a proactive measures, a proactive method or something of that nature. But if somebody tell me and then I do it, I am being reactive, I'm not being proactive. Your first line says, your persistence and vigilance in raising the issue with me are greatly appreciated. So you didn't take on your own and do it. Anyway, go on. I remain committed and being proactive in addressing your concerns and advocating for timely project completion. Timely project completion. Timely project completion. You stated that this project is well over 3 years. So what is timely? Well, if you tell me you're doing something timely and it takes 3 years, I don't want you timely, no, mama. Afraid you timely? Because if you're timely is 3 years, I don't want you timely. Because if you tell me you will pay me in a timely manner, you will pay me in 3 years. Because you're stating well over, based on what you're saying in the entire statement that you would have made, ladies and gentlemen, based on what you started by saying, even when you went further and you said you're asking for access for persons to access the bridge, it means that persons could have done that before. She said, while the delays are no fault of mine. Oh my God. Watch. How do I read that today? And at what? I laughing now, but at the vexing. Ladies, that statement alone is redundant. People will have to write. While the delay are no fault of mine. Why you come back and say that? When you say this project has been faced with significant delays due to redesigning and other technical challenges. So why would you even make this statement that it is no fault of yours? When you already let us know that is nothing to do with you, it's because of the significant delays to redesigning and other technical challenges. So why come back and say it's no fault of yours when you already said earlier what is the problem or what has been the problem? You're not making sense. You're not making sense. We know it's no problem of yours because you already started off by giving us the excuse as to why the project has not been done well over 3 years. And it's because you said the project has been faced with significant delays due to redesigning and other technical challenges. But you come back and you say, while the delays are no fault of mine. Well, go on. I assure you that this kind of accountability helps us to achieve the transformational change we seek. If Kieran James was in my class today, I would have called her in front of the class, and ladies and gentlemen, excuse me language, I'd have hit her one cut ass. You give an entire statement to say nothing? An entire statement to say nothing? Because you and understand, ladies and gentlemen, and we can brush this aside. Somebody writing this thing for their young lady. I cannot believe, but even if they write it, you have to proofread. You have to proofread. This is a minister that continues to prove to our nation that she's not getting her work done. And I'm saying it as blatant as is. She's not sitting aside and getting her work done, and when things come up, she's giving us all kind of idiotic statements, making all kind of contrary statements. And you have to get it right. You have to get it right. You're a young politician. And you have to get it right. So remember, she deteriorated. She ended by rotting now. Listen how she ended. Good news. The project is progressing well and is on target to be completed in short order. Oh gosh, Lord God, what? I'm laughing, but what? You visit the project today. You identify the issues today. You basically ask, or you're asking for persons to access it over the weekend due to the event that is happening in the area. But you come and end by saying, good news, the project is progressing well. What? However, she says, I thank all of you for your patience and understanding, especially the students and staff of SJCSS. And then when she decided, no, she done rotten. She said, nah, I could get worse. She ended by saying, together we'll cross the bridge, literally and figuratively. Let's continue to work hand in hand for the betterment of St. John's. Oh gosh, watch. Grenada, the land where I was born. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems humorous, but let me say to you, when you're looking, somebody saying the chief of staff writes for everybody, that's why they all sung the same. When you listen to me, and you've heard me say that in my program here before. This administration, whenever there is a problem, the very first thing that they always do is blame or look for a way to blame the past administration. Somebody's saying, and they sent me a message and says, tell the MP, we in 2025, she must stop lying. The bridge was broken down when she took office. It was possible before, during, and after the election. She knew very well about the delay in having the bridge completed. When she passed on the truck Christmas morning, when she passed on the truck Christmas morning giving toys, did she pass on the bridge? People were passing on the bridge, but a trench was dug to stop them. See, when they give one side of the story, and I like people in my classroom for that, because I am not, and there's somebody from the constituency who sent me that. This administration, whenever there is a problem, whenever a problem is identified, the immediate gesture on every occasion is to force, let's blame the past administration. The project has been 3 years, well on its way, long before her tenure as a parliamentarian. Immediately, that is the first thing that comes to mind. Nothing like we do sincerely apologize to the persons of Florida and surrounding areas for having not accessed the bridge. We apologize to the persons at the St. Joseph Christian Secondary School. But however, my political organization and the government is working tirelessly to ensure that this problem is being fixed in a timely manner. Therefore, having visited today, I spoke with persons, different stakeholders. The contractor was there. We went through a process to find a solution. Due to the event that is happening over the weekend, persons who do have access to the bridge to ensure that they go to attend the event. However, in a timely manner, we will try to ensure that this problem is solved. And so we do continue to say to the persons of St. George, let's work hand in hand to get the problem fixed. Lord God, somebody vote for me. Oh my goodness. And I don't write that, you know. You realize that talking and you don't read, it's not written. You must be in the position, ladies and gentlemen, to be empathetic. You must be empathetic. There are persons that have issues. You must learn to be empathetic first. You cannot just jump on the blame game. You cannot just jump on the blame game. We saw babies dying in the general hospital, persons having issues with healthcare, and you're blaming the past administration. Persons are losing their loved ones, and you are blaming the past administration. Not even thinking about being empathetic or sympathetic about the situation. There is an issue there that involves persons that are seeking education, families that need to get to access the area. You come in and talk about how long the bridge, and when before you wasn't a parliamentarian, and this papi show. Who want to hear that? We want the bridge fixed. You are the person immediately responsible now. What you come and tell us, oh, the bridge have been there over 3 years. We don't want to know that. We already acknowledge the fact that there is a problem. Everybody who have said what they had to say, the news said it's 33 years ago. We acknowledge that. You're part of a political administration that says government is continuum. I didn't hear that issue with Monkuma. I didn't hear that issue with Moline Bridge, Road. I don't hear the issue with PHQ. I didn't hear those issues. Because government, it was continuum and it's a federal now look here. So government is continuum. But you come in and talk about well over 3 years before your tenure. Papi show. You cannot have issues and the first thing you're looking to do is put an excuse as to why the people of Florida in your constituency is having an issue. Let's address the issue. Let us address the issue. Come in and tell us how long you wasn't parliamentary. We know. We are aware. We are aware. And then the good news is that the project is progressing well. What? Anyways, let's move on to the next piece of rubbish today. Because he has some rubbish today. Them rubbish and them, I can tell people they plentifully. A lot of rubbish, a lot of rubbish. So today, after you take the cow, you kill the cow, you sell the cow, you make the money from the cow, you spend the money from what you make from selling the cow. You go back and you ask the owner if you could take the cow. Notice to unestablished public officers. Prime Minister to host a special meeting with unestablished public officers, which was held on the 7th of January 2024. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Deacon Mitchell, through the Department of Public Administration, will convey a special meeting with all unestablished public officers on Wednesday the 8th, which is today, 2025, at the Trade Center from 1:30. This meeting is to provide an update on the public sector's Employment Pension Fund Bill 2024, which was passed in both the Houses Parliament and in December of 2024 and duly assented to by the Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cecile Grenard. Key aspect of the new pension plan and expectations for its successful implementation will be discussed. The DPA will also provide an update on the regularization exercise and the integrated performance management system, two key supporting reforms initiative. Permanent secretaries and head of departments are kindly requested to make a necessary arrangement to ensure that staff attends at this meeting. All unestablished officers are also urged to attend. Before I say anything, let me just play this.
And there will be one public service. If you are working for and on behalf of the state of Grenada, and you are fulfilling a permanent job, there is no need to have you branded as an Imani worker, and there is no need for you to be placed on contract. You will be regularized and made part of the public service.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after all was said and done, after The Prime Minister said all that he said in the House of Parliament. Believe it or not, he decides to meet with the unestablished workers thereafter. Now, you need to put everything as is right now. The Deacon Mitchell-led administration and gave one rat's about how the people feels about a situation after they already made the decision. This is a political administration that does not care what you think after they do what they have to do. They don't care. How you make it out of the rubbles is up to you. You made a decision when everyone stood in the House of Parliament and preached about consultations and meeting with unions and meeting on a level playing field. You went to the House of Parliament and you play hefe as if you know everything. You knew it all. So I don't know what is it that you would have told these persons today. No, this, and mind you, let's start sticking to it. These people are trying their very best for you to divert from many things. All the promises that was made, the MNIB thing, the loan that you said that you would get for farmers to buy trucks, the Grenlec truck to assist to pick up mango. All these promises that you made, all the things that you said during the election that nobody shouldn't be regularized and no Imani work, we're actually hearing conversations that by March, the Imani program may be of no more. I don't know if they're implementing something new. But continue to gauge, ladies and gentlemen, as to how this is a gentleman that decides now to say, what, I see big shot, I do what I want. Listening to him on a program the other night. Listen, his level of arrogance. Listen to him.
So a teacher who ain't working with the government 5 years from now has no rights.
A teacher who is hired tomorrow.
Yes.
What is the regime they come under?
They will come under the new pension regime. Right? And therefore, this whole notion of established and non-established workers is a notion that ultimately, I'm going to use this word, will no longer be of any distinction with a meaning. Because to a large extent, the single almost defining act of this is these pension issues.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the same gentleman in the clip that I played before. The same gentleman who is starting to speak about, oh, there is not you.
And there will be one public service. If you are working for and on behalf of the state of Grenada and you are fulfilling a permanent job, there is no need to have you branded as an Imani worker, and there is no need for you to be placed on contract. You will be regularized and made part of the public service.
And he comes back and he think we're stupid and we don't have much sense, and he come and he say this.
I'm going to use this word, will no longer be of any distinction with a meaning. Because to a large extent, the single almost defining act of this is these pension issues.
And then the other question is, who does the hiring? Is it Government of Grenada or would it be Public Service Commission? That new teacher being hired tomorrow.
Well, I would simply say the Government of Grenada. At the end of the day, all employees really and truly work for the government of Grenada. The Public Service Commission is a commission or a mechanism that was created as part of the Constitution. I'm going to use this word in layman terms to give some buffer to how you protect public officers from arbitrariness or political arbitrariness and those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, the Public Service Commission doesn't pay you. Right? The Public Service Commission, I would use this word, is a more disciplinarian, hiring, firing, promoting, etc. But they're not your employer.
So basically, somebody who has the power to hire, fire, and promote is not your employer. Somebody could hire you. They could fire you. They could promote you. They're not your employer. I don't know when they closing the circus in Grenada, but right now he open fully. The circus in Grenada is open for enjoyment. Enjoy Grenada's circus. Yeah, enjoy Grenada's circus, because everybody has a play. Everybody have a jump up. Yeah, and that is true. As somebody said in the statement, Dickon is bold-faced with his actions, as though Grenadians belong to him, with no knowledge of how to run a country. And you know, now that you said that, I'm going to play this.
Biggest cancers seem insistent on electing leaders who've built nothing and then wonder why they build nothing. You've built nothing. You've created nothing. But for your words and political oratory, your ability to hold a tune and sing a verse, your ability to fill a stadium with poor people on the promise of a food hamper and a t-shirt. And then we vote for you. And we wonder why you don't know how to build roads or houses or balance a budget or just make sure that crime and law and order is in place. We elect clowns and then give them the seat of the headmaster's office.
Typical Dickon Mitchell. Typical our Prime Minister. Built nothing. What is his legacy? He lives politics today. What has he left? He always takes the high road. And listen to the statement. You could break it down. Let's break it down as the gentleman speaks.
Biggest cancers seem insistent on electing leaders who've built nothing and then wonder why they build nothing.
And that's a fact. Young politician, young prime minister elected, small country, meets an excellent treasury based on his report. And to this date, there have not been an initiative project by your administration. Nothing. Speak about building new hospital and building new this. Time waits on no man. The fate of the next general election does not lie in your hand.
You've built nothing. You've created nothing. But for your words and political oratory, your ability to hold a tune and sing a verse.
And understand what the gentleman is saying here. He has the ability to talk. He could real talk. He can sound good. So since you've joined, and you see, they have realized after a certain assessment that the pension conversation is what drove Grenadians to them and what would have gotten them elected. So you hear the tune start to play again. You know what he's saying? Same thing, same talk, coming back again.
Your ability to fill a stadium with poor people on the promise of a food hamper and a t-shirt.
Yeah, simple. That the stroke of a pen, within the first 12 months of assuming office, everybody coming out on contract, everybody will be made permanent. Those were his words. Those are the things he said.
And then we vote for you. And we wonder why you don't know how to build roads.
Grenada known for its great road network. Check different projects. Just take a drive around the island. Listen as to how many complaints as it relates to the condition of the roads in different areas. Listen. The same rain used to fall in the past administration days. They had issues the same way. But those projects was being done. Projects being done. I remember my tenure as a police officer. You know how many times we had to go and lay cones, men walking late in the night. And I don't see when that already in the game in Grenada. That already in the game here. Persons giving that level of dedication, extra hours. And as the statement says, you wonder how you can rebuild a road. So much issues, 3 years. 3 years.
Or houses, or balance a budget.
Yeah. like that man talking about Deacon. Yeah. Listen to things that has been mentioned.
Or just make sure that crime and law and order is in place.
Big issue in the state. You know of a peaceful society. Come on. What have we seen in recent days, recent months? And what hurts us the most is the age range of those persons involved in those violent practices. Young people. Young people. But don't worry, me assure you guys, the young people of our nation, the youth arm of the new National Party, we would be engaging you strongly this year. You are not going unrecognized. Your voices will be heard.
We elect clowns and then give them the seat of the headmaster's office.
This is no joking matter, ladies and gentlemen. This is no joking matter. You have a political leader and the Prime Minister that has been traveling excessively. More so, he leaves the state in the hands of one of our most incompetent parliamentarians. And I say that with no remorse. Very little experience as it relates to anything when it comes to state and state affairs. But you don't care. You don't care. You have a Prime Minister, more so a security system, where we have the cabinet traveling at one time together. At one time, the entire cabinet is not in the state at one given time. We have a Prime Minister that is visiting countries, and protocol clearly states that whenever a head of government, a head of state is visiting an island, it must be informed either to the country or to the country is visiting. We had the Prime Minister leave from one place and go to a next place and was liming in a particular country with a millionaire. And they make us believe that he just get a call. He just run an errand. I had a friend that gave me a scenario. He said one time he's going to the beach, I think it was Florida or wherever. And he said he realized that there were roadblocks and so on. So he said, well, normally he knows when that happened is either shock attack or something on the beach. And it was to his surprise that it was the President of the United States that was simply visiting the beach. He said the level of protocol that was put in place just for the visitation of the Prime Minister, the President. And I'm saying that to say that even the Prime Minister does not understand the levels of protocol that must be established in certain situations for his safety and for the safety of the state. So even if it is missed by the security system that the entire cabinet is in Carriacou, then at least the Prime Minister must call on somebody within his cabinet and say, no, all of you can't go. But on two occasions, we saw the entire fleet of cabinet leave Grenada, went to Carriacou, once to Plan 3, and the other one was to see the damages done. They go online. For about 2 to 3 hours, we were running on zero. Peaceful Grenada, with incompetent leadership. The mind of a criminal. No, the boat or the plane staying on the airport, all you staying wherever all you is, and all you start to watch on TV all what happening in Grenada. In some other place that has that level of violence. But that is what incompetence drive. That's what incompetence drive. Because you don't care. You don't care. As a husband, you know you're not interested in your wife. You want to go outside of the room. You feel you're staying and you go leave food for wifey to cook, or you go bake grocery in the house. No. When you're living, you don't care if them children eat, you don't care if Bob take over the place. And that is the behavioral pattern of our Prime Minister. When he's making it live and he flying and he going, he don't care who he live. He don't care. One time he leave, Minister Andy Williams, there's a strike action taking place at our mental institution. He goes up there and he gets interviewed and he said he never know that was happening. He said passing. I don't know how many of you remember that. The acting Prime Minister, there is a probable strike action taking place within the Ministry of Health, in that of the mental institution and the nurses and doctors up there. And the acting Prime Minister takes it to national television and he said, well, I didn't even know that happening. He said, passing and somebody tell me. So a Prime Minister leaves somebody in charge and he doesn't even know a strike action is taking place right under his navel. The interest of these persons is clear. They freelancing, they free drawing. Yeah. All the projects and all the things that you're hearing and how much allocations of fundings and so on still sits up there. The area that's supposed to be housing the Prime Minister, Prime Minister's residence, still sits there. And you have the goons on radio and other places and saying how the Prime Minister could day up there and watch a place like River Road. How of us remember them? He's agreeing with the Prime Minister going and leave in that place down there, Mount Cinnamon, because it is deplorable toward the Prime Minister. It is disrespectful for the Prime Minister to sit and watch River Road, Dabo, all them areas and them there. This is the society that we live in. This is what we have accepted. It is no more what is right or what is wrong, but it's who you like. Let me say that again. It's no more what is wrong or what is right, but it's who you like. Because some of the things that I'm seeing that is happening now, Dr. Mitchell did that. They ring bell. I'll know. They lighting candle up at the Prime Minister's residence. Even when he would have started leaving in St. Mark's. But he started to complain, oh, the Prime Minister driving to go all up in Victoria. The man wasn't showing that when he has to do business of the state, he's in the Prime Minister's residence. But now we have a Prime Minister who leave there to deteriorate. He left there. He don't want to do nothing there. And the state funds is responsible for paying a rent. The state funds. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. This Grenada here, those of us, those are the persons in the diaspora, I don't know what story you're hearing about down here. During the vacation holiday, there were some interviews that was conducted. And again, you know, anything that happens, they're going to say, oh, well, he's an NP that set out. But the interview was done, and I want to play the clip of that individual. He's a businessman, and he did share his sentiment as it relates to what he believes in terms of the how they call it at the time.
Completely different from all the years before.
Started over.
Actually, this year is completely different from all the years before. We don't have a good business. It's very slow. I can say it's dead. And all my friends, all the businessmen complain about the same thing. We're not getting the sale. Even restaurants complain they're not getting good sale or good business for this year.
So, I'm not a businessman. I don't know with whom he would have had any form of conversation with. But he states, he said it. And then, you know, funny enough, I won't be surprised that you hear this statement. He's an NP, the way he's saying that. Well, you know how they do things. I wouldn't be surprised that that is being said. But ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of today's programming. It was definitely a pleasure in being in your company. I hope that some form of information that I gave today, something I said, something that you were unaware about, maybe brought clarity to whatever it is. I hope that I did that today. Yes? We'll be back here from next Monday. And we continue to urge you guys. We're well into year 3. And we know how this year, or this years normally goes by. Yeah? So, we continue to employ of persons. You have been part of canvassing, you've been part of campaigning before. Contact your either your constituency lead or your parliamentary representative, because we need to take this whole initiative and make it a reality. Yes? Reach out to persons who need to be registered. Talk to persons. We have given you all a lot of information. A lot. There's a lot of information that is out there. Yes? Because right now, even in a place like because I'm working along with St. Mark's, and there's so many things that have been said. Oh, Dr. Moders haven't done anything in St. Mark's, yada, yada. But we are going to make the general public know what has been done. And we're going to improve on a lot of the things that we said that was going to be done. Keep your ears and eyes open. The Imani project may be of no more. There's a lot of flops in a lot of areas. Contraction issues, persons are turning down contracts, some persons are not receiving monies, and so on and so forth. For certain things done, and hold on, it will take time. See, patience, what do patience? Patience make you see in the belly of an ant. Let's be patient. Alright? So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I want to say good evening to each and every one of you guys. Have yourself a blessed weekend. God's blessings. and we catch you back again here next Monday.
Political situation is so complex, who can understand people? Alright. And everyday people expressing different interpretations. Let us analyze just a little more. Because it seems to get pity black dog is the same, now we'll strike the wine. So for Grenada's sake, we have no choice but to unite. That's right. And let those who dwell among us without sins cast the first stone. Show me a man who has not done wrong. Each one wants to blame his adversary and hide his own faults. But tell me, how long can this game go on? Where is the love, my people? Where is our unity? We have to build a home on trust and integrity. Yeah. We have to elevate our sense of strength and purpose. We have to understand that this spice island must come first. Yeah, in mind that no amount of foreign assistance can ever compensate for our nation's independence. Our road is long and our work is hard, but our united strength is our greatest reward. Errors we made as we strove to build a nation, do not forget, people. Alright.